Alright, hi guys. A lot of people have been asking me how I downloaded The Sims 4, and I didn't just download The Sims 4, I downloaded The Sims 4 with every stuff pack, expansion pack, and game pack that's came out so far, so Get to Work, the Together one, I don't know, the spa one, the camping retreat. This is going to include all of those. So first thing I wanted to cover was how basic my laptop is so you can understand why I had to do all these steps. So my laptop only has about 21 gigs of total storage, which isn't a lot. And to run The Sims and to run it well, you need about 44 gigs of storage just for the game itself, with all the expansion packs and everything that comes with it. So clearly, as you can see, I do not have the capacity to run it on my laptop alone. So I actually overclocked my GPU, but you won't need to do that on most laptops. Mine was a special case. So first thing I'm going to cover is you want to go to your computer files and you want to click on this PC and you want to look under your Windows, your C file, and you want to see how much storage you have. Now I have about half my storage open and I have that done so I can run The Sims well. If you don't, then the first thing you want to do is you want to go to Control Panel. You want to click Uninstall a Program. And you want to look at all of the programs you currently have that you're not using. I have the absolute bare minimum. As you can see, the only extra things I have are the Sims, which, like I said, 44 gigs. I have Razor, which actually helps me run The Sims, and I will delve into that more later. And I also have a really basic antivirus that's a really lightweight program for this laptop. It's actually probably one of the best antivirus programs that I've come across if you need one. So anyways, if you have anything unnecessary or just a bunch of stuff, if you have anything that says 86, you can get rid of that because, well, it depends on your laptop. Mine is, I'll show you how to get there. Control Panel, you're going to click on System Security, and then you're going to click on System. And then you see how it says 64-bit operating system, 64-based processor. That's what I have. So a lot of times when you download programs, it'll always download the 64-bit and the 86-bit just in case, because it doesn't know what you have. So under Control Panel, if you see like virtually anything that says 86, it's typically just a copy of the same exact program and you can get rid of it. That's why I left that one here, just to specifically show that. So you want to get rid of absolutely any programs that are unnecessary, like I said. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to go back to Panel. You want to click on System and Security again. And then you're going to want to free up some disk space. Now I've already opened this up. So essentially it just scans your computer and it gets rid of any unnecessary or unwanted files that are, taking up precious memory and hard drive space. So I basically select everything because this is all just temporary files. And if you want to delve even, more into that, you can actually clean up system files as well. It will not harm your computer. If you have any temporary files that you need, I would back those up and save them first, obviously. But essentially, this is just cleaning a whole bunch of odd stuff off your computer, and it's really great. Like, I clean mine probably on a daily basis. As you can see, I always have stuff I can delete even the next day. Okay, so after that, you're going to want to defragment your hard drive. And all that really means is that you're optimizing it to run it faster. It's essentially just condensing things down to make your computer run faster. So to do that, you'll click defragment and optimize your drives. You'll select Windows, and you'll select analyze first in case you haven't analyzed it, and then you're going to click optimize. Now you can actually change it to where it does it weekly on its own. Most laptops have this set to be done weekly, but some don't. I even defragment my external hard drive, as you can see. Just it makes it runs more smoothly. So after you want to do that, you're going to want to go back to system because we're going to need this a little bit later, and I'll explain why. Now if you don't want to do everything I just told you, or if you want to do it in a lot quicker way that is going to take less of your time, then I completely recommend CCleaner. It's great. It's going to do everything I just showed you. It's going to defragment your hard drive. It's going to clean up junk that's on your computer, and it's free, which obviously it says 14-day trial right here, but you can get rid of it as soon as you're done deleting all the stuff because you really don't need it after that. It's kind of just a one-time use thing as far as I'm concerned if you have a relatively new laptop or a desktop. So you'll want to run that, and like I said, just get everything clean. You want to have as much computer space as you possibly can. And then what I actually have my Sims on is an external hard drive. Now why I do that is, like I said, because I physically don't have the capacity for it on my tiny little laptop. So what I did is I got an external hard drive. They're relatively cheap. I know this one seems expensive, but that's because it's an entire terabyte. You are not going to need that much for Sims. At most, you would need one like I have where it's like 500 gigs, but that's even excessive really. You would only need one that's like 200, 300 at the most, depending on how much mods and stuff you want to add to your game. So, but like I said, for a terabyte, this is actually relatively cheap and a really good external hard drive. So I was just showing you an example one. Obviously, you can get them anywhere. You can get them at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS. So you're going to want an external hard drive unless you have a ridiculously good laptop or desktop computer that's capable of running The Sims, which most of them, even if they are capable graphics and processor wise, aren't capable memory wise. So yeah, you're going to want an external hard drive for this. So after that, you're going to want to get uTorrent. uTorrent is a BitTorrent client, like it just said up there, obviously. Essentially, it's just, it's not the proper way to explain it, but it's just what I use to download, movies, music, things like that. So you're going to need this. There's no way around it. You need a BitTorrent system. If you don't want uTorrent, you can download a different one. I like this one because it's light and it doesn't take up a lot of storage on my computer. I have it set to where it doesn't start up, so it doesn't, bog down my computer or anything like that. So you're going to want to download uTorrent. The next thing you're going to want to do is get the Sims torrent. After you've done all of your computer cleaning and you've downloaded uTorrent and you feel confident that you have either enough storage on your external hard drive or on your main Windows drive, then you're going to want to download. And here's where the system thing that I was talking about came into play. Listen to this, because if you knew how little and how pathetic my laptop is, you would know that I actually meet none of these requirements, and I mean none of them. I don't have the processor, I don't have the memory, I don't have the graphics, I don't have the sound card, I don't have any of that. Sims 4 is a lot more basic and a lot faster to run than Sims 3, which is why I downloaded it instead of Sims 3 on this laptop. So, pop up, sorry. So, it'll tell you, like I said, it says at least 2 gigabytes RAM if you read here. Then if you come down here, it says the storage that you really need is 3 gigabytes plus 14 gigabytes if you're installing the base game Sims 4, which we are, because if you're watching this, you need Sims 4 as well, obviously, so yeah. So on mine, like I said, obviously it took up way more than like 16 gigs, as you can tell, because this is only Sims 3 that I have on here. This is like, except for that, I don't literally know what that is. Might be part of it, I don't know. So I literally only have the Sims 4 on here. So once you come to this page, you're going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to click this top torrent right here. Like I said, it has all of them included. Then it'll take you to this page. I'm going to show you because it's really complicated how they do this, and there's going to be a lot of pop-ups and ads, and you're going to get frustrated. So I would show you. Not typically this slow. It's slow because of the screen recorder I'm using. So once you get here, you want to make sure you don't click the wrong download button. So you're going to want to click this one, and then it's going to take you to probably another page. Ignore literally anything that it's not relevant. Just keep hitting the download button. Now, like I said, it'll put up a bunch of fake download buttons. This is not the download button you want to use. This is not the download button. This is the download button you want to click. And then you'll see where it pops up down here where it says the torrent is downloading. I'm going to exit out because I actually already have this. So once it's downloaded, it'll be in your downloads folder. You'll want to right click it, or it might automatically open a new torrent if you have it set up correctly. But if it doesn't, then you'll click open with uTorrent. See, I already have this downloaded, but to start it, it'll pop up with a screen and it'll ask if you want to start immediately, but you'll want to change where it's going, and by that I mean it's going to ask what file location you're going to put it in, and you're going to want to make sure it's going to tell you that it's a malware, by the way. A good recommendation before you download this torrent is to actually turn off any antivirus programs that you have, because any program that hacks a video game essentially is going to be seen as malware, because it's not going to be recognized as a real game. So if you don't want a bunch of annoying pop-ups or your computer telling you not to download this torrent, then you might want to turn off your antivirus. I promise it has no malware in it. Trust me, I would know. So like I said, you're going to want to make sure your file location is your external hard drive, which mine is my passport. I've already showed you that. So you're going to want to make sure it's all under there. While it's downloading, if you want it to download faster, go to bandwidth allocation and make sure that it's on high instead of normal. Now this will use all of your like Wi-Fi capacity essentially. So you're not going to be able to like be on your phone on the Wi-Fi and have like 6 other people using the Wi-Fi. So if that's the case, then I would not do that. So once you download it on high and it's finished, you're going to click stop once it's done, because it'll say seeding once it's done downloading, and that means it's done. You don't need to seed, so you'll just right click and you'll click stop, and then you'll click open containing folder, and it'll open this folder. And then from there you'll click the setup button and you'll just set it up like normally. And it's going to take a long time. It's going to take like at least 4 hours. You want to make sure to watch it because you want to be sure to be there when it's done. So I didn't get to fully cover everything that I should cover in 15 minutes. Anyways, I realized I didn't cover some things in the first video, and one of them being why you need so much damn space on both of these. And the reason being is because when The Sims is running, it takes up a lot of your CPU and your memory while it's running. So even though you have all this space on drive and your whole game's on it, and you don't need that much space on your windows, you still need space, at least a decent amount of space, because while it's running, you have a bunch of files and things bogging your system down, then your Sims game is going to crash a lot, or it's going to be slow and it's going to lag a lot because there's already so much stuff running. So that's why you need so much space on Windows and your external hard drive collectively, so you can run this game more smoothly. And I mean, I'm not even saying on like the highest settings, I'm just saying to run the game itself. The way to check how you're and what's all running is to go to Task Manager. Now, most people know how to do this. It's Control-Alt-Delete. It'll come up with a blue screen, and you'll select Task Manager. It'll actually pop up like this, and you'll want to select More Details, and then it'll look like this. And as you can see, my little laptop sucks, and this is with it overclocked on GPU and CPU, believe it or not. Told you, this stupid little screen recorder sucks. So basically, when you're playing Sims, you want anything unnecessary that's running to not be running, to make your experience a lot more enjoyable. So you're going to want to down, and you're going to see a lot of things that it's common sense that you don't need running. Like, I'm not going to be on the internet, so I'm going to end that. And like, I'm not going to need Google Chrome because I'm not going to be on the internet, so I'll end that. And just stuff along that nature, kind of common sense. A lot of things though you'll select, and it won't end the task when you go to select it. And that is where the Razer Gaming Booster program comes into play. Before I do that though, I forgot something. If you also want to see what programs start up with your computer, that also will slow down your game. Click Startup under Task Manager, and you'll see everything that starts up when your computer starts up. And if you see anything that says it has a high impact, or that just starts up with your computer that you don't necessarily need to use or need, select it and then click Disable. Side note, I should have mentioned that earlier. Anyways, so you'll select the download button. Once it's downloaded, okay, so after you download the Razer Game Booster programming, you'll open it up. It'll take you to this section. You don't need it. You only need the Game Booster section, so you're going to want to click here. The program's already going to come pre-configured with a bunch of options already selected for you when you boost it. You want to configure it yourself because you want to add more things. It's going to be on recommended. You're going to want to click Custom, and then you're going to want to read all the options. If you don't understand all of the options that it's listing and you're not computer savvy, don't worry about it. Just select what you think is best, and if for some reason at all it ends up messing up your gameplay or slowing down your computer, you can always just deselect it and then click Optimize again, and it'll get rid of it. But what you really need to focus on is the boost portion, because that's where you're going to really get all that extra hard drive and RAM space when you're running your game. So I pretty much select everything that's not necessary for running my computer. I don't run uTorrent, I don't run Internet Explorer, I don't run most background services. I even turn off my antivirus program, and the reason being is because my antivirus program, or any antivirus program, whether it's a really lightweight programming that doesn't take up a lot of space like mine, it will still be always running in the background like all antivirus programs will, and it's really a pain, because that just takes up CPU that you could be using for your game. And you don't really need antivirus while you're just playing Sims. So I even turn off my antivirus program, which you might have a hard time. You really got to read through all of these and kind of identify what's important and what's not, because this doesn't look like it's my antivirus program, but it is. It's just under a really weird name, so you kind of want to make sure you really read through and select what you think is best, because there's a lot to go through in this option. So I pretty much, like I said, I turn off everything. Once I'm done, I just click Optimize. I usually don't restart it. I know it says to. But like I said, this isn't the important part, and when I restart it, I just have to reconfigure everything, so I don't really like to. See, now this is telling me, see, that was telling me that it was turning off my antivirus, which is fine, that's what I wanted. So then after you boost everything, all you're going to really need to do is exit out, because it's going to stay running in the background. If at any point you decide to stop playing Sims and you want to turn it off, it's real simple. Just click restore, and it will turn right off. So that's pretty much the end of that. You want to always make sure the Sims logos are usually on here, but I just unplugged my external hard drive. You want to always make sure when you run the Sims that you're running the Sims 4 64-bit version, and that's because that's the most compatible with most of the computer systems that'll be running this. It's not going to let you lose any quality in the game or anything like that. It's just the most compatible for your computer. Last thing, and it's the most important thing, never run Sims while you're running the internet. And the reason being is because Origin owns the Sims. So anytime the Sims is online, it's going to be connected to Origin, and while you're playing the game, it has the potential to crash, and Origin will ask you to put your Sims game on their, gaming program that they have that the Sims is typically on, and it'll ask you for a registration code to prove that you own the game, which obviously you do not, because this is an illegal copy. So I'm always scared that that's going to happen, so while I run the Sims, I just go and I turn my internet off, or I turn it on airplane mode, and then I just turn it back on simply after I'm done playing Sims, so that way that risk just never happens to begin with. So that's very important. Always make sure your internet's off before you run this game. And that's it. Have fun, and if you have any issues, any error messages, you need help installing a program that won't completely come off your computer or something, let me know. Have fun, nerds.